Sorry everybody, give me 2 seconds. That was kind of weird, how we have doubles. Okay, just a reaction video today. Yes, I did a vlog video earlier, and I'm gonna tell you this, I'm not proud of it, okay? So, I'm gonna just call this one reaction to vlog video. Okay, so I'm gonna do all this later on. So, I am your host. I'm sorry, I don't, oh, okay, awesome. I'm your host, Deanna Jean, and the reason why I'm doing a reaction video is because I want to show you, basically, I'm not saying what not to do, but in as a sense of what you should be doing to yourself. And I'm going to put on the video. We're going to watch a little bit of it, and I'm going to react to it. Okay, so let's get it started. Okay. Boy, this is painful. I'm sorry. I apologize. I suffer from seasonal allergies. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to pause it right there for you. Okay, so, yeah, I had a brief flashback that led into this video, and after the video, after, well, what is it, 14 minutes and 21 seconds, I cried for the longest time, and, you know, I didn't know who I could reach out and talk to, so, you know, I cried. I didn't know what was what and all of that stuff, so I'm kind of, you know, gonna correct what I did wrong. Well, not really wrong in a sense, but I'm going to put this as positive as I can. So let's continue. I'm sorry this vlog entry is so long, and I know I keep stopping it on you guys, so here's the rest of it. I stumble a lot. Not a good one, eh? That tells you to run. Okay, we were a safe enough distance away from the gunshots. If we had just walked away from the parade right then and there, I wouldn't have been feeling the way that I had felt in this video. But I'm going to put here, okay? Your condition is not who you are, and it's actually, you know, well, sorry guys. I'm just trying to find the right one. Why I was there was to be a part of the parade, and just, yeah, it just went, and I'm sorry for my swearing, and usually I don't swear on the podcast, okay? But these videos, you will find that I am a little bit more laid back with it. Effing shit happens. That's all I have to say. You know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But here's more. I sure won't. Again, I'm gonna say this. When I heard this, I should have run. You know, it should have been a indicator, but my spidey senses are not tingling anymore, if you know what I mean. So I think you all know that I have suffered a lifetime worth of trauma and abuse, and that has actually basically killed my spidey senses, so I no longer have, you know, a spidey sense that says no, 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 no. Okay, like, I'm learning how to get at it, and basically, you know, it's a learning curve. And this video is basically what I'm trying to come off as is not mean towards myself. I'm just trying to say is, I should have run. That would have been a positive thing for me, but I didn't. And I thank my spidey senses because of all of that past trauma from when I was a kid, and after a certain, let's say a whole situation that that was brought around when I was 23, 24. Yeah, that's all I have to say is, I should have run, but shit happens. Hold up. I am going to make this a little bit more positive for you. I shouldn't have said that I regret it. I do have feelings of regret about that. Okay, but I actually shouldn't have to feel regret for, all of this, because it was not my fault. And I realize that. And when I go into these PTSD episodes, I think it's all my fault and that it happened because of me. And now that I'm right-minded, basically, I know that I shouldn't regret what happened 2 years ago. I shouldn't regret what happened to me as a kid. And I shouldn't regret what happened to me in my, at 23s and 24s. Yeah, I've been through a lot of bad karma, but you know what? I managed to come out with a great knowledge of PTSD, and having this condition has actually kind of helped me see my life in a better light than I did, when I was in my teens. I didn't even know. I was blindsided by that adoptive mother that, really got to me, and just recently I actually found out what she had done to me was abuse, and I have paperwork that proves that she's a liar 100%, and all of that stuff. But we're here in the now. We're talking about this video because there are key points that I say that are so negative that I actually do know in the back of my mind, and I put it at the back of my mind because, when I'm in these episodes, it happens. I don't think, and all of that stuff. So, the reason why I'm doing a reaction video to one of my own videos is because of the fact I want you guys to see the negative part and now the positive part. I'm not picking on that negative part. I'm just trying to give constructive criticism to that part that, is negative. And I haven't done this before, and I should be doing, something like this, and then going back to it, an hour later after I've had time to breathe. Usually I have a problem with the eating disorder. As you guys all know, I have the eating disorder called anorexia nervosa, and I am I don't know if you've heard of this theory before. Okay, there's two sides of me. Okay, my brain's not normal in a sense because I have an eating disorder. I have PTSD, depression, anxiety, as you can see in this video. Okay, sorry for the quality. Anyways, so people who have eating disorders, at first they have this big ass annoying voice. When you're trying to recover, that voice is overpowering the positive voice. But when you start to recover and develop that big positive voice, that little voice becomes much, much smaller. Okay? So, yes, I'm talking about PTSD right now. Okay? Because I had, well, actually, you know what's pretty awesome is we are in the middle of the PTSD episodes. So, this kind of fits everything. I haven't done anything like this. But yeah, because I have a big voice, but sometimes I tend to listen to the little voice, which is that naggy little, voice, and it's like, excuse me, I tell it, excuse me, I'm trying to, okay, so I read a book on eating disorders. I'm going to continue on this for just a tiny little bit, and we'll get to the video right after I'm done my thought. So, I read this book, and it actually made a whole lot of sense. Your eating disorder, which is this big, scary bully of a voice, when you start your recovery, it's big and it's nagging. But once you start developing the positive voice, it becomes bigger and actually overpowers that very negative eating disorder voice. Now, this is not the case with PTSD. PTSD, doctors say, is a imbalance of chemicals in our brain. Same with eating disorders and depression and anxiety. But I don't know, for some reason, the information that I talk about, yeah, it's doctors, okay? That's doctors. That's doctors. So, I just find that, they don't know anything about PTSD. Like, I'm not knocking you, but you don't have the disorder. Okay? You're a doctor. You're there to, do tests and all of this other stuff. PTSD, anxiety, depression, and eating disorders all are from, I believe, like, long ago. So, that they found them long ago. And, they didn't know how to develop, tests back then. People were coming home from war and they didn't know what was wrong. They thought that they were, I'm not going to say the word because that word is not in my dictionary because no one's crazy. No one's, nuts and all of that stuff. So, let's get back to the video because, yeah, I shouldn't be regretting anything and putting it in a vlog video. So this is why I'm doing that. Ugh, okay. This was the second time. So this actually freaked me out around this time, and I'm gonna say I was allowed to feel that way. Okay, this negative thing was happening. Okay, it was negative. It was big. It was volatile. Okay, someone was threatening people with a gun. Sorry, guys. So, I was allowed to feel that way. And I was allowed to feel the way that I did before. Okay, here I'm collecting my thoughts, so I'm just gonna say what was to come. Before those shots, those two guys, the guy that I was dating and his friend, decided to run up in the middle of a shooting to go find their friend who was shooting up the place. Okay? So they actually told me to come with them. And I said no. And I'm going to say this right now instead of after this part. I had the right to refuse to go anywhere bad or negative. And I actually I made the decision to stay there. We were actually by, where was it? The subway, the Queen's subway. So yeah, just listen a little bit more and I will go on. Again, I had the right to refuse to go anywhere bad. I did not want to end up dead. Okay, I know all of you guys are thinking that I'm stating the words to I will survive. Okay? At first, I was afraid I was petrified. But no, I even thought that song while I was actually, saying those words. And now that I see myself saying those words, I'm going to say this, okay? I had the right to be scared. I had that right to be scared. I was terrified. I was just really scared. The fear was crawling all up my spine. There you go. Hold up. Emotion? Okay. I'm gonna just do this as a me-to-me basis and all of that. Deanna, this video is proof that you have an emotion. You are afraid. You are afraid. That is an emotion. No emotion? You're scared. You're scared in the video. I'm sorry, but my heart was pounding while recording this. Okay? I could strangle her. Because she said, I said, she, who's on the video that I am kind of reviewing after the fact, well, scared is an emotion. You were feeling something here. You may have, I may have thought at the time that I wasn't showing emotion. No, this is definitely emotion. This is definitely very emotional. This is a documentation of after a PTSD attack. This is as real as it gets. This is very emotional. Whoa. No one's gonna judge you. I might have been actually, judging myself at that point because I thought that I was the one who got myself into that pickle. Well, technically I did get myself into that pickle, but you know what? There's no technical in podcasting, and I just want to showcase to you guys how I actually feel that reviewing my own video after the fact, after the negative viewpoint that I had, has actually helped me. It's actually helped me grow from this. So if I ever have any more trouble, I'll just vlog it and then wait a couple of hours, talk to someone, do my thing and whatnot. And then I will release a video with the positive insights. Okay? No one's going to judge me. No one's going to judge me for, you know, for sticking around that. I'm actually glad that I ain't with that person, because that person was freaking, let's just say, a moron. Buddy, if you're watching this, I really don't care what you think. You are a moron, and you know who you are. I'm sorry, guys. Didn't mean to address that person, but it happened. It's over with, and yeah. Okay, so let's get going. Hey, at least I'm alive. You know what? I forgot to add, okay, that I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, scratch the whole whatever. You guys heard it. Heard my actual thought on that person. You know, I know it's harsh to judge. Okay? And sometimes the judgment fits the person. Let's just say that. But yeah, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And you know what? No matter how that situation turned out, I'm alive. And I should actually be happy that I'm alive to tell the story, because it's a scary one. Okay. You know what? Even though I remember it like it was yesterday, shit happens. You know, shit happens sometimes. And you know what? Sometimes you have to stick with that memory, but you can also let it go. And that's what I'm trying to get at. If you guys are going through this, I went untreated for PTSD until I was 25, 26. That's a long time. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Crying is a natural thing. Crying is a natural thing. And when we cry, I find when I cry, I feel much better. I would rather cry it out than punch a person. Crying is more positive than punching a person. Getting angry at a person because they're, let's say, reminds you of your abuser, or they remind you of somebody that, hurts you emotionally, or, it's okay to cry. And if you guys are still stuck on, the flashbacks and you think that it's your fault, it's not your fault. And I'm going to tell myself that every day. It's not my fault. It happened for a reason. And I'm alive. And I'm thankful. I am so thankful. So listen to the next part. Again, natural feeling. Exactly. I was unharmed. That is a positive statement. I was unharmed. But what? Again, it wasn't my fault. I am alive. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to stop it every moment and make a positive statement about me. I'm sorry, but, yeah. Let's go. You met them. It happened. Shit happens. That's what I usually tell myself when things start to go wrong, so I can pull myself out. But today was a joke. Well, the end of the day was a joke. Before we get into the ending conclusion and my final thoughts, I was kind of talking about my upbringing right there when I said before. I was petrified when all of that traumatic shit that happened to me when I was a child happened. But my upbringing sure as hell is not who I am. Sometimes I forget that. It's all a part of PTSD. It's not your fault. None of that was your fault. I'm saying it to myself. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm gonna bring up here. I had Joe Potosi on my show a couple weeks back, and we talked about PTSD. Your condition is certainly not your conclusion. And I felt like that today. My condition was my conclusion. But you know what? After reviewing this video and kind of talking about it, I begin to remember that your condition is not your conclusion. And, you know, I had Joe on, and, like, he's an awesome guest. Like, I've had him on twice. One on the actual podcast in season 1 when I was having guests on the podcast, and then, of course, on the after show. And he talked a lot about, you know, trauma and how it's not your fault. Now, I want you, or would like you guys, to go back to that episode if you haven't seen it and watch it. It's really, really good. Like, you'll love him. He's awesome. He's superb. You know, he's a great interviewee. Okay. Again, my upbringing does not define me. Okay? I have to certainly remember that. Sometimes I do forget, because sometimes I'm so, what is it? I'm so scared. And then I have that flashback, then I become really, 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 like, fearful, and I get anxiety, and my palms clam up, and, you know, sometimes you have to let our upbringings go, and we have to work on who we are in the present, which I've been trying to work on for the last couple of years. Now, I did take some time off last year, which, you know, sometimes podcasters do have mental health issues that they needed to deal with, and I did. I thought I had dealt with what needed to be dealt with. Like, you know, shit happens. Shit happens. Shit happens. And your upbringing is not who you are. Yet again. Okay, so if you guys are childhood abuse survivors, narcissistic abuse survivors who were children, and so on and so forth, your upbringing is not who you are. And that's something I have to remember. You know, and it's my wording too. Like, it should be easy to remember that. let's just say, horrible stuff is an understatement. Okay, my question is, why haven't I talked about this to anyone? Okay, my answer is because I think, or I thought at one point, even when, you know, let's say last year and just up to recently, I thought that I did not have anybody. And it turns out that this podcast has brought many people across my platform, and it's helped me realize that there's others who go through it too, for one. For two, people are willing to reach out to you if you are wanting and willing. Number three, there will be good days and there will be bad days. Sometimes we have to get through the bad days in order to get into the good days. Number four, so it's quite apparent that, this is a huge issue. I'm going to talk about the stigma against mental health. Okay. I talk a lot about mental health on my podcast. I talk about the conditions right now that, a lot of people are going through, and I see myself right here having a vlog episode that I was going to actually air by itself, and I'm like, no, not without any positive comments in there, because I know I have to make good with myself in order to be a better person, to be a better friend, family member, sister, whoever you are. Okay? So if you're listening to this episode, this is probably going to be the first vlog rebuttal. So basically, I'm rebuttaling myself. So you guys get to see it now on the YouTube channel, blog rebuttals. So I'm just going to rename this because, I'm going to rebuttal myself in front of you guys, because I want you guys to see in real time that even though I've had so much trauma, I've recovered enough to actually know that, hey, this isn't cool, man. Okay, so that's the end of that. Okay. So, thank you for joining me here today and hanging out. I apologize for the negative video that I had to rebuttal in front of y'all. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.